Welcome to date night. We are so excited that you are here on
Hey,
Valentine's Day Eve. Super excited that you're here. According to the US Census Bureau,
phones, I tell you.
date night interruptions. We usually put our phone upside down on date night, but hey, we're kind of using it for this one. But we're excited you guys are here, excited for a good date night. And according to the US Census Bureau, $3.4 billion are spent on chocolate for Valentine's Day in the US.
131 million on flowers.
And 2.6 billion spent on jewelry. That's a lot of money spent on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, so man, I hope you feel good about this date night because tonight it can save you a lot of money.
Can save you money because not only are you getting brownie points from your wife, but you have the potential to earn free gift cards that we are giving away tonight. Tell them how they get those.
Yeah, tonight we're going to be giving away gift cards. And so we'll be asking questions throughout, and you'll just comment your answer, and we'll randomly draw a winner throughout the night. After the event is over, to claim your prize, you'll need to email plexusprizes@gmail.com and tell us your name, address, and what you won.
So to test that out, go ahead and look for the chat box and just comment the word prizes. Make sure everything works okay so that you can figure it out. If you're on a computer, it should be on the right. If you're on a phone, there should be a little button that gives you the opportunity to comment. So comment prizes so you can win those free things. And the reason why we're so excited for you to be here tonight is you're going to get to hear from 4 different couples whose lives have completely been changed by these products and this opportunity. I love that we all have different stories and come from a different background, but at the end of the day, I hope our stories inspire you to dream again with your Valentine and show you what's possible to give you a better marriage, a better life, and overall financial freedom. So, first, I'll introduce you to us. My name's Brooke. This is Dustin,
Hey,
and we've been married 10 years, and we have the sweetest little pup named Plexi. She's laying at our feet right now.
yeah, she put that in the script for me to say.
He said he wasn't going to say
No, I'm just
sweet
saying.
pup.
It's
That's
weird.
so not
It's
a
not manly.
non-manly
No,
thing.
it's not
But
manly.
she is the sweetest pup and we love her. So how did we meet, honey?
Yeah, so my parents were missionaries out on the Rocky Mountain Reservation up in Montana, and this one came out for a missions trip out there. So that's how I met her. It was love at first sight for me.
On his
Okay,
side.
yeah, it took it took me years to convince her how much she loved me, but I eventually did. This is actually the only girl who's ever broke up with me
Slightly scared
multiple
of
times,
commitment.
a little bit. So we finally got it sorted out. We've been married for 10 years now. It has been absolutely amazing. Best years of my life.
We actually started Plexus because I was desperate for something. We'd been married about 3 or 4 years, 5 years. I don't know, lose track there. He always reminds me when our anniversary is. I think we'd been married like 6 years. That is not the point. But I was a very happy teacher. I was a kindergarten teacher and I loved it. I thought that's what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. But while I was super happy doing that, I was very, very sick. I was sick every single weekend with some kind of something, got strep throat, bronchitis, multiple times a semester, was getting daily headaches, daily fevers. I was gaining weight no matter what I tried. I was anxious all the time, falling into depression. I had never faced that before. And I just did not feel good. And we had literally tried all of the things, a 40-day juice fast. I'd done all the diets, seen all the specialists, and nobody could figure out what was wrong with me.
Yeah, yeah. We had really looked at all kinds of supplements, like tons of different things. I was super skeptical whenever she starts bringing up these more, these other supplements, network marketing, all this stuff. I'm like, no, that's not going to be anything there. But we were really trying to get our gut health in balance, our hormones in balance, blood sugar, all that. That's what we were trying to do with diet, and we're not being effective. And what I found in my research was that's exactly what Plexus did. So we gave it a shot. Super glad we did. I was still skeptical though until the first night we actually slept through the night after over 2 years of her moaning and crying through the night and never being able to sleep. We actually woke up for the first time, had slept through the night. And I mean, I'm a guy, whatever, but I actually had tears in my eyes. Like I was so emotional about it because it was a big deal. And that's when I knew it was working.
Yes. I couldn't even lift my arm. That's one of the things that he was talking about.
Mm.
So I would go to sleep in pain and wake up in pain. And I remember that day sleeping through the night. And honestly, since that day, as cheesy as it sounds, that was the start of literally the rest of our life. Because since then, it's changed almost every other thing about our life. His cholesterol is better, his
Yeah.
blood pressure is better. I've been able to lose some weight. I don't have daily headaches, don't have daily fevers anymore. I can move my arm no problem. Haven't gotten strep throat or bronchitis even one time in the 4 years that we've been doing this.
Right.
And now we both are full time puppy parents working from home, getting to share this with others. So it has changed everything about our life.
Yeah.
So if you can relate to any of that, or even if you can't, go ahead and comment where you're watching from for our first gift card giveaway. I kind of forgot to mention that. So go ahead and comment that for the first gift card giveaway, and he's going to draw a winner. And then for the second one, I'm about to introduce you to some of our friends, but tell us a one if you and your Valentine's relationship was kind of like fast and furious, love at first sight, or put a number two if it was more slow and steady, or you needed a little bit of convincing. So that's put a one or two in the comments. And then you're going to get to hear from Fallon and Caleb. They have such a sweet story. She was actually a really successful single mama of 5 when they met, and they fell in love quickly. They were married within 5 weeks, and now they've been married for 9 months, and they have a little one on the way, and their relationship is so precious. They live in North Carolina with 5 kids, ages 5 to 12, with a little one on the way. Like I said, they love to lay in bed and talk for hours and dream about the future of what this opportunity has given them. And I want you to hear how they met, hear their story, and the unique perspective of Caleb for coming into this and kind of marrying into what Plexus can do.
Thanks, lady. I love your guys' health story. I've never heard yours before, so that is amazing. I know since I made Caleb get on the products, he's having great results too, and myself. But we met on eHarmony. My sister met her hubby on there, and they've been happily married for 8 years. So I thought, why not give it a try? Got any thoughts on that, babe?
Yeah. So we met. What do you?
Okay, so we met, and on the second date, he asked me to be his girlfriend, and then on the third day, I was like, if you want to be serious, like I'm not letting you meet my kids until you are. And he's like, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that we'll end up together. And now we're just talking about this tonight, like kind of crazy, but we think it's a little crazy, but it felt normal back in May when all of that, March and April when all of that happened. And so he met the kids, and I knew right then and there that he was definitely the one to be able to step in and be the dad that the kids needed.
And to answer Brooke's question, ours was a combination of both. We started talking in January, and we didn't meet until March, which, so I was hesitant on the drawing that out because she did have 5 kids, and that was, I came from a family of 5, but it was a little daunting to think of meeting somebody that had 5 kids out the gate. But then it got to the point where I was like, you know what, why not? This woman is a very, strong Christian woman. She's very hardworking, very driven. Seemed from all, appearances, which is true, that she was a great mom. She checked all the boxes. I was like, why not? Why have I not met her? So fast forward, slow out the gate, if you will. But but then when we actually met, it was like, boom. That's how this is just it fit. It just felt right. So like Brooke said, it was about 5 weeks after we met for the first time that we got married.
Yeah. I love that. So we're going to hear from you a little bit again here in a second about how you've really just been given this opportunity to jump into that and be a full-time dad and husband. But first, Fallon, can you take us back to before you even started Plexus? What were some of those pain points in your life? Why did you give this a try to begin with?
I was sick of being broke. I was sick of not being able to afford diapers. Honestly, I would look in the bank account, and I still remember the time where there was 10 cents in there, and it was a whole week until payday, and we didn't have the money for it. I'm not even kidding. I remember asking a friend, like, what am I supposed to do? Tie t-shirts onto this baby? Is it time to potty train? Like, what do we do? How do we make these last few diapers stretch a whole week? And I was just sick of it. I was sick of not being able to afford the simple things, life seemed so hard. I knew that God had given me the 5 kids that I had, and I knew that there was more to life. And a friend introduced me to Plexus, and I was like, you know what? My life couldn't possibly get any worse. So let's go ahead and try this. It's $39 to join. And I actually took my electric bill money, and I was like, you know what? I need to take this money and I need to join. And then I told my mom, my sister, and my mother-in-law, you guys need to join me so I can pay this electric bill, or I'm going to have to ask you for a loan, but at least this way you get some products out of it. So I joined, and I have made a paycheck ever since. And it's been a huge blessing getting married, all the changes that go along with that, and bringing someone into your family. And my kids, it was a bad situation before, so they needed extra love and extra care. And being able to have Caleb home and being able to spend that time investing in them instead of him going away and working all day, it's been huge.
I mean, I was working in finance, and I wouldn't have a relationship with the kids except on weekends. I mean, I'd be gone before they got up, and back after they went to bed with the hours that I was working in finance. So to be able to just step away and really focus on, I mean, you know, when we met, we had, you know, her oldest was right at the cusp of turning 12. Within a month, he had actually just a couple weeks, he had actually turned 12. So I had 12 years of catching up there, and to have to try to provide for a family of 7 on top of trying to catch up and learn to be a dad, but also, you know, reverse some things that had happened with the kids. And I think, you know, a couple years prior, then I don't think I could. I don't know where I'd be right now. So I'm very thankful for the opportunity to just step back and really just focus on being a husband, being a dad to 5 kids, learning the ropes, being taught, and being able to focus on that for this season of my life.
And now with being pregnant, I'm 8 weeks pregnant, and I am so sick. I was just telling someone today, this is the best job ever, because if I'm sick, I can take a nap and I can wake up and I can feel better and I can send out those messages. I can do those phone calls. I can do what I need to. As long as I get my work in, I can do it whenever I need to. If I feel better at night or in the morning, and the flexibility that it's given us has been definitely a huge blessing during this hard time. And now this very interesting pregnancy that is making me very sick. So I am so thankful for this opportunity.
And I can focus on being room service now. So that's nice too.
I love that. One thing that I've always admired about your story, Fallon, is the way that you don't just take things that life maybe throws at you and use them as excuses. She had no money in the bank, you guys, and she realized that until she did something different, nothing was going to change. So you heard her. She took her electric bill, jumped in, and didn't just hope that this would happen. She literally made this happen. And because of that, when God brought this man into her life that is meant to be for her, they have been able to focus and be a full-time family. That's incredible. I love that. Thank you guys so much for sharing. So I think he's drawing a winner. And then for the next giveaway, comment how long you knew your Valentine before he became your Valentine. So how long did you guys know each other before you started dating or get engaged or whatever that is that you want to tell us? For Tricia and Matt, their story was very fast. So they met at church. Matt asked her dad if they could start courting in February. Her dad said yes in March, and then they started talking marriage in April. But it worked. They have been married now 10 years, and they have 6 kiddos ranging from 1 to 9 years old. They love shopping as a family, date nights, watching TV, dreaming together in West Virginia. And one of the cool things about our company is they actually allow husbands and spouses, husbands and wives, to work together. So Tricia went all the way to the top, and now her husband is one of the top ranks as well. So that is so cool. You guys, can you tell us a little bit more about how you met, how you fell in love?
Okay. So my dad started a church, and this church had like 15 people in it. Like nobody knew about this church. And I was just sitting in a pew with my family, and these 2 guys walked in, and one of them was Matt. I don't even know how he figured out about the church, but he walked in, and within a week he was like, this is the girl I'm going to marry. And yeah, we got married. We were not as fast as Fallon and Caleb, but we were fast.
So what did you learn about her, Matt?
Yeah, I think I came to the church for the first time in August. So it was like August to January before we started having
course,
marriage
marriage
conversation.
Yeah.
I love it. That's good. Well, it clearly worked. So can you take us back to some of the how life was for you guys? I know you were happily married, but it wasn't always easiest financially before Plexus.
Right. So most of our marriage before Plexus, I had a stable job, but it wasn't, we didn't make a lot of money. So we made enough to just save a little bit, but not never ever get ahead. So anytime vehicles, had problems or whatever, it would wipe out our savings. And, we were just kind of stuck there. So knowing that I was stuck in the situation I was,
He also works really long hours.
Yeah.
Like he had a long commute, he had long hours, and like the most we ever saved, like ever was like $100
a month.
Yeah.
So knowing that I needed to change, I started doing a property management company. I started a business with my brother-in-law. And it was during that time that Tricia started taking the Plexus products just as a customer. And I didn't really think that much of it. But some of the real estate investor people that I was following and learning from, they were saying that network marketing was a good thing to get into. So that kind of put the first seed in my mind. I didn't really even know that Plexus was, a network marketing company or anything like that. I just knew she was taking the products to help with pregnancy and all that stuff. So I wasn't paying that much attention to it for a while. But you want to?
But I would say that like while Matt was doing his thing with property management stuff, we weren't making a lot of money. Like traditional businesses, you guys, they're really, really, really hard to start. And so we were averaging like first of all, we stuck a ton of money, like most of our savings into this business. So then we didn't have much left. And then we were averaging about $750 a month from Matt's new business. And we had 4 little kids. So there were some months that we were paid $0. And then there were other months that we were paid $2,000 and it lasted a little while. So there were months that we were like living off the charity of other people. My sister brought us groceries one time and I was just like crying. That year, I think we made like $17,000, right? But I was a customer, you guys. I was drinking the pink drink. I was starting to believe in the products. I had 2 miscarriages back to back at the same time that Matt figured out that his business was failing. He had said he was going to give it a year. I was a mess emotionally, and our bank account was a mess in that we had like 1 month left of finances. And Matt said, "Okay, Tricia, we're going to go all in." He read the compensation plan of Plexus. And he said, "I think we can get out of debt." And I'm like, "You're saying we could not only pay our bills, but we could get out of debt?" And he said, "I think we should try." And so I posted on Facebook. I was like, "I'm throwing a Facebook party. Let's see if anybody wants to come."
Yeah. So
I love that.
Yeah, basically
go ahead.
Before I had even like looked at the comp plan, I'd been taking the products for a month or so and already been losing a lot of weight. So I knew that the products were a great product and that people that I respected this industry, and their advice has been good advice so far. Yeah, I was like, "Tricia, I think like everything seems like it's in place for this to be an awesome fit for us. So let's just go for it." And yeah.
I love it. 2 things that you said that I really, really loved and I want to draw attention to. A lot of times this industry will get a bad rap, but if you pay attention, it's getting a bad rap from people that don't know much about it and don't understand it.
Mhm.
He went to business professionals and their opinion of this was absolutely do this. Entrepreneurs, they understand that this business model is the best on the industry. You can, like Fallon said, take a nap and wake up and work. Tricia and Matt get to take their kids to Target or shopping and then come home and work. So if you're hearing some people and they're saying something maybe that you're thinking, maybe I shouldn't take a look at this, listen to what is their business background, because the people who understand business, they know that this is the best model on the planet. And then another thing I loved is how she said they were sinking money into this other business. Most businesses, it takes like 5 years, isn't that the statistic, to get a return on investment?
Right.
And I, just like you heard with Fallon, month one, she got a return on her investment. I don't even know that Tricia has been in this 5 years and she's made it to the top of the company, not once, but twice. I know that we made a return on investment month one. So this is an amazing opportunity. So they jumped in together. So tell us, what has it done for you?
Well, we paid off our house. That was our first big goal, was to pay off our house, and it's totally paid off. That happened like 2 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then we just bought a Suburban with cash. So when we started, all I wanted, my why was for me to walk into Old Navy and buy my kids clothes and literally not leave them there and walk away because I can't afford them, but to buy my kids clothes and walk out. That was my dream, right? And to be able to be debt free, to be looking at like potential investment properties in the future and to be doing it debt free is like such a huge life change.
Yeah, it's put us in a place where we could dream bigger than we ever thought we would have even entered our minds to think. Mm-hmm. And that's like the financial part, but also like health wise, like I've lost 30 pounds. Like my health is great. I feel way better at 35 than I did at 30. And the same thing with Tricia too. So it's like the whole spectrum is completely changed.
That's amazing. So they feel better than ever and they're dreaming again. That's really what we want you to be able to do with your Valentine. Maybe it is just that you want to go buy cute clothes at Old Navy, but what if this very thing could be what sets you up to do another dream down the road that you don't even know that you have yet? That's what it's done for all of us. I love that. Okay, so the very last gift card, it's going to be the biggest one yet, but we're going to make you work for it. So in the comments, you have to kind of get out of your comfort zone a little and tell us what cutesy nicknames you have for your Valentine. Comment some of those cutesy nicknames to be entered to win the very last gift card. And I want to introduce you to Tara and Matt. They met at a mutual friend's party and have been together ever since. They got married and got pregnant all within their first year, but now they are going to be celebrating 16 years of marriage next month. Amazing. They have 2 sons, 15 and 11. He's a cop. She's a retired hairstylist. They love getting away and being together, watching shows, having date nights, and love anything outdoorsy. So take us way back, 16 or so years ago. Tell us how you met. How'd you fall in love?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Can you hear a little thing? Oh. Look, we're cheersing because it's date night. Cheers to the big tree. Cheesy. Okay. Way back 16 years ago. It was actually 17 years ago that we met because we've been married for 16 years. But his senior year saw me on a volleyball team from another school, competing school. My junior year, he thought I was cute, asked one of our mutual friends for my phone number. He called me a couple of times back then, caller ID, and it was like a home phone with this, what is it called? Like a cord, can you hear me? You can hear me? Okay. So yeah, that's how long ago it was. And we talked a couple of times on the phone, but nothing really came from it. And then
she didn't like my last name.
Well, his last name was Booger. And
Burger Kingdom.
Right. Now I love it. But whenever I say our last name, I'm like, Burger is not Booger. But anyway, that is true. So then a year later, I saw him at a party and I was like, that boy is so cute. And keep in mind, I had not seen him. I just talked to him on the phone. And my friend said, oh my gosh, that's Matt Berger. And I was like, I remember that name. She introduced us. And ever since that night, it was love at first sight. We've been together. So nobody since him.
Oh, I love it. And I know that when you first started Plexus, your husband was super skeptical and basically told you that you'd have to get your money back. So why were you so skeptical? And take us back to what was going on back then that made you want to try anyway.
I'll start with why I wanted to try, and then he can talk about his skepticism. So I wanted to try because I had never heard of it. And my best friend at the time, we were hairstylists together. She told me she read something about a pink drink and how it could help with energy and sleep. And those were 2 things I was really struggling with. I was a busy mom of 2, and I worked part-time, 20 hours at a salon where you had to be on your best, right? Because we do hair, but we're also hairists. And I was chugging 2 Red Bulls a day, and then I would crash. And so it was a vicious cycle. I would get headaches. I couldn't sleep at night, but then I could sleep the entire next day. I was moody. I developed a mood disorder, I found out. I developed anxiety, so I got on a medicine for that. I just was miserable, and I felt like I was hiding behind a mask every single day. I went to a doctor, told her what I just said basically, and they put me on 3 different medications that day, going from 0 to 3. I gained about 35 pounds in 1 year, and for a 5'3", that's a lot. And it helped a little bit, but I still was drinking the Red Bulls, having headaches, trouble sleeping, no motivation. And when my friend told me about it, I thought, yeah, right, a pink drink? I don't think so. But she kept on me, and I finally just thought, what if? What if? What if? And so I brought it to Matt and asked him, and I knew this was going to be hard because of the money factor. So here we go.
So yeah, she brought it to me. I remember still sitting on the couch because it was something I've never heard of. It was a network marketing. I was never big on network marketing stuff online. Always worried about people getting our information. I just didn't do the research on it, and I was just basically, we didn't have the money. She's telling me, oh, it's going to cost this and then this.
It's like $140, which seemed like
joining
at the time.
And I was like, no, there's no way. We can't afford that. We're not doing that right now. It's not in our budget, and it's online. Like, this isn't going anywhere, And she's the dreamer. She's the what if, and I'm the
realistic.
I'm the one going, no, you're not going to do it.
He's black and white. He's
I'm very black and white.
Black and white, and I'm
stubborn.
like. So, but I'm stubborn too, because the wife over here just kept on saying, Matt, like, baby, come on, please. And he's a good hubby, because he did say, okay, you have 30 days, but we knew there was a 30-day return back then. I think it was 30, now it's 60. Either way, he said he was not happy about it. He said, you have 1 month, because I told him, babe, we are paying for Red Bulls every day. That's $10 right there. We are paying for medication, prescriptions. We are paying, in other ways. Like, what if this could actually give me my life back? I hate being this way. And that's what really, telling him why I really wanted to do this. I wanted to be a better wife. I knew he'd have a better life, my children. So he said 30 days, and then the rest was history.
And, when Megan first came in, she had gave her a pink drink already. It was the sample. And she was like, I feel the energy in it. I'm like, come on. Yeah, right.
She's so dramatic.
Yeah. So at that point I was like, I don't know, but it finally, I gave in.
And it was the best giving in you ever did.
That's true.
I love that. I love it. And I love that you pointed out that honestly, if we stop and think about it, we're probably spending that money anyway, whether it's on ibuprofen or Tylenol or other supplements from the store or coffees or Red Bulls. I love that. So I love that he gave in and said, yes, you can give it a try. And I also know that he's now a former skeptic, because we've now seen you in Hawaii twice. So talk a little bit about what changed your mind, and then tell us about the freedoms that you guys now have because of this opportunity and these products.
And to touch on what you just said, you're so right. People say health is expensive, but try illness. It is so much more expensive, you guys. Your health is priceless, and we can't afford not to take it. Break it down, and it's about $4 a day, okay? And you're gonna naturally get rid of your cravings, and when you get rid of the pain, and when you get rid of all of those ailments, you're gonna save money. But to answer that next question, what was the question?
Basically, how he overcame the skepticism and just what all of this has done for you guys.
So within that 30 days, I mean, it was like she was back in high school or college studying. I mean, I would go into our bedroom and there would be papers all over the bedroom, like on our bed. And she was studying the product. She was studying, she was taught or had
and I don't like to study.
A list of who she could reach out to. She was so ready to prove me wrong and for me to apologize to her, that I think that's what drove her more and more. So once I noticed the 30 days, she did have some mood change, more energy. I did notice, not within probably the 30 days, that she was losing weight. She was getting off her medication.
Within 60 days.
And she was adding all these people. And I started to kind of slowly see, some money come in. Well,
I made 4 figures in my first 30 days. He said slowly. Come on now, 4 figures in your first 30 days. But he was still skeptical. He was like,
it's too good to be true.
It's too good to be true. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But as he started seeing me progress, I went and I sat outside of the nail salon before they even opened. Normally I take the kids to school and go right back to bed. I was waiting for them to open. And I was like, this is not normal. And so then he started, he would like sneak little pink sticks out of my stash because he got caught. And he got caught because it hadn't been 30 days worth. And he just saw other people really were suffering and struggling too. And like he said, he saw a new passion within me. You guys, I got this fire because I was reading testimonies and I was just hungry to prove him wrong. And I saw what was possible. And I just wanted to be able to pay for my own products. And then I wanted to be able to just pay for, some of our bills. And then I started dreaming bigger and I was like, oh my goodness, like I could probably help us pay off some of that credit card debt. And we ended up being debt free, which was a dream. You guys, we were so bad. The question you asked, we were so financially strapped that like if I needed gas, I would say, hey, can I have some gas money? Because he was in charge of all of that stuff, which was totally fine. But he'd be like, well, where all did you drive, this week? And I'm like, I don't know. I just need some gas money, and I remember as doing hair, I worked 20 hours a week. And the last thing I wanted was him to be stressed, but I also didn't want to trade more hours, more time for money. I wanted to be home with my boys so badly, but I also knew I got to work more in order to make more money, but I don't want to. And when people give me a $20 tip, I gave it to Matt right away. And he was like, oh, babe, good job. Like an extra 20, that's where we were. And 2 weeks before Plexus, I cried on my hands and knees out to Jesus and to my best friend and said, Lord, please help me. I do not want to go back to school to be a nurse. Like, I do not want to have to work more hours, help show me a way. And then this pink drink 2 weeks later at Christmas time, when you're the most strapped, right, fell into my lap. And it was the biggest blessing for both of us. And now we live in our dream home. We've been able to drive a Plexus Lexus for the last 4 years. And we are not the type that is materialistic whatsoever. I don't care what kind of a car it was, but just not to have to worry about a car payment. The car we drove had 170,000 miles on it, a cracked windshield, and we were able to trade it in for like a car with heated seats and stuff. It's been so great. It's been so great.
And I want to go back though, I was a skeptic for probably almost a year. I would say almost a year. I was seeing these checks roll in and still going, that's too good to be true. There's no way. Our first trip to Hawaii, I'm like, well, what are we going to have to pay? Hawaii is expensive. And it's been, it's been going strong. We've been going strong for what, 4 or 5 years? And
he's a senior gold.
Yeah.
He's on this call with you guys. Anymore. All those trips that Plexus does, he used to stay home the first year. Now he won't miss one because he knows they treat you so well because they're so proud of the work out there that we're doing. So it's been great.
Changing lives. I love that. I hope you guys have picked up on all of the different things that these products do for people tonight. You heard people with brain fog, people that needed to lose weight, anxiety, all of these issues. But even beyond that, the two things that keep people awake at night are worrying about their health and worrying about finances. And I hope that you see that people that are doing this, none of us were like, hey, I want a private jet, although we would not turn down a private jet. But that's not why any of us, we were talking about that before the call, but that's not why we do this. We're not like, hey, I just want to roll in the money. We're just normal people who had 10 cents in our bank account and we're going to tie t-shirts to our babies for diapers. People whose husbands were working all of the time and we were trying to sell stuff in our garage. People who were working so much and struggling to make ends meet. A cop who was trying to count the mileage because they couldn't afford gas money. And now all of us are able to give and live abundantly, all because of this.
Yeah, it's super amazing what we've seen, not just with ourselves, but with the other people and our friends and everything. And guys, it's Valentine's Eve, right? We got Valentine's Day tomorrow. Hopefully you've already gone out and bought some flowers, some chocolates, something like that. All that stuff's great, and do that. Don't just ignore it, obviously. But really, the best thing you could do for Valentine's for your lady is pour into her, support her, help her get in this Plexus thing, man. It changes lives, it changed our lives and everyone on this call, and so many more. So many more. Like, it's
And
so
one last thing. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
When I had the support of my husband, when I finally got that support, it changed everything. It really did fuel me. It gave me more confidence. It was priceless to have the support of your husband who believes in you and wants to do this alongside of you. It is the best gift that you can give your wife. And it's just been such an incredible blessing. I'm so thankful.
I love that. So hop off this call here in a second and have a chat with your Valentine. What are some dreams on your heart that you maybe have never even told me because we're over here struggling to pay the electric bill? What is something that you want to do? What is somewhere you want to go? What would you do if time and money were no object? Have that conversation together. And then instead of pink balloons, maybe buy some pink drink this year and get started with this amazing opportunity so that it can invest in your marriage, invest in your family, and invest in your finances for years to come, because tonight's date night was fun, but it will improve the rest of your life. So thank you so much for coming. Congratulations to the winners, and have a good night.
Good night, guys.